year 13, if they pass, they get what's called university entrance. They can go to university, to any university in New Zealand, if they pass university entrance. Different universities though, you must get different grades, higher grades or lower grades, depending on the degree you want to study. So for example, do you know what a Bachelor of Science? Does that make the same, called BSc. The same thing? BSc, yep. So a BSc, as well as getting university entrance, which is like the final qualification, for a BSc you must have university entrance plus a little bit extra marks. To do Bachelor of Engineering, you must have university entrance plus higher marks. To do medicine, higher marks as well. Okay. So how old are you guys?
15.
15? 15. When do you turn 16?
Next year, 10th Feb.
Next year, 10th of Feb. So you, next year here, maybe, depending on your grades and whatever, maybe you would be year 12 here next year. And then year 13, in New Zealand, year 13 the year after, then university. And at university, a Bachelor of Science degree is usually 3 years. Bachelor of Engineering is 4 years, that sort of thing.
So what if I want to do my 12th and 13th year in, suppose this college, and want a university, not in New Zealand but in America or maybe UK? So depending upon my grades,
absolutely,
the credit score.
Absolutely, yeah. So the New Zealand system is very complicated, but it's what's called an internationally recognised qualification. So our qualification is called NCEA. In England, some of their qualifications are called A-levels. There is another qualification called IB, International Baccalaureate, all sorts of things. NCEA is the New Zealand one, and the New Zealand one is internationally known the same as all the others. Students each year that study last year we had one girl who got into Oxford University. You've heard of Oxford University? Yeah. She's studying English, she's a writer, so she got into Oxford last year. We had another girl last year go to Mississippi University in America. That's a tier 2 university, very high university. It's based on their NCEA grades.
So we don't need to give GMAT and SAT. Like for America, you need to give SAT now.
Yes, you still need to sit the SATs, absolutely.
Okay, so for that also there is some cut-off marks.
Yep. And you sit the SATs. The way the SATs work in New Zealand is you have to enter the exam. They're usually on a Saturday, and different schools, no schools teach the SATs, but the school can be what's called an exam centre. So students who want to pay money.
So when do I give my SAT?
You choose. You could choose to sit the SAT this Saturday if you want, and you pay and you can sit it many times. But I think, and this I must check on this, I think if you sit it too many times, it can look like your marks aren't good. You might be better to wait and sit it to get the best mark you can. But you are allowed to sit it over again. But I need to check. Play basketball and go to university there. Another one is a very good swimmer. Same thing, swimming, and 2 others for business. One sat their first SAT maybe 2 weeks ago. Another one will do it in 5 or 6 weeks' time. So you just pay your money. I'm not sure how much it is, maybe $100 or something, and then they say, okay, you must be at this place at this time, and you go there and sit the exam.
So now after 10th, suppose I want to come here, not to college. So my 10th board marks you will take into consideration?
Yeah, so for any student coming to us from anywhere in the world, whether it's England, India, whatever, we need to get the report, the school report, and maybe on the report it will have some grades like the subjects you take, and also maybe something from the school that says he's a good student, he works here, that sort of thing, recommendation. And then what we do is we have deans. A dean is the person who is in charge of the whole year group.
Yeah.
The dean will meet with the student, or if it's overseas, talk on the phone and say, what subjects do you do at your school now in India? What do you do now? Okay, these are the subjects at our school. Which ones would you like to take? If you want to study biology, let's say, the dean will say, have you studied science before? Do you know those? And they will also say, what do you want to study when you leave school? And if you say maybe engineering, then you must, in New Zealand, if you want to study engineering, you must take mathematics and physics. Same thing. So those are the conversations. Yeah.
So in year 13, do we have, in India, we have 12 standard boards. 12th boards, like the exam. So in New Zealand, how does it?
Yeah, the New Zealand system is different. Yeah. So each subject in New Zealand, most year 13 students take 5 subjects. Okay? Maybe if you want to do engineering, maybe maths, physics, chem, English, and
any additional
something else, whatever. So 5 subjects. Every subject will have some exam at the end of the year, but also some exam in the year. We call it internal assessment. Okay? These two things go together to make your whole grade for that subject.
So the university will consider the year 13 marks also, which I give the Northcote college.
Yep.
And the internal assessment plus the end of the year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when does the year start?
Good question. So the year starts very early in February, the school year.
But in India, we do not get our results before May.
Yeah.
For the 10th board.
Yeah. So what we would do is look at the previous May results.
9th standard.
Yeah.
So then
Percentage has gone down due to some subjects.
That's a good question. So, depending on the degree, if you want to do a Bachelor of Business Studies or a Bachelor of Commerce is another one we call it, Bachelor of Commerce, they will have what's called a rank score, and that is all of your marks in year 13 added up to get into there. So if you have done very, very well in your business economics subjects, but you haven't done as well in some other subjects, you need to see what the average is overall, or what the total is. Yeah. NCEA is a complicated system, but we probably need another talk at some stage if you want to understand exactly how NCEA works. But basically, how well you do in year 13 depends on, determines how you get into.
So year 13 is you need to do well in year 13.
Yeah. The first lot of national assessments in New Zealand, national assessments means across the whole country. The first time that happens is year 11. So in year 11, when students finish year 11, if they pass their subjects, they get what's called NCEA level 1. Then they go to year 12. If they pass their subject in year 12, they get NCEA level 2. There are some places that are not universities, but maybe like an apprenticeship or other courses, not universities, but other courses. NCEA level 2, you can go straight into those places. Then year 13, you get NCEA level 3 and a thing called university entrance. Then you may go to university.
So which is the best university in New Zealand for engineering?
The University of Auckland. Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah. Well, the University of Auckland is the university that has the highest international ranking. Okay, so all the universities around the whole world are ranked from number 1, which I think some years it's Oxford, some years it's MIT, depends that order. New Zealand has about 4 or 5 universities that are ranked very highly. The highest ranked New Zealand university is the University of Auckland.
And for suppose if designing and business, what are the subjects required?
What sort of designing?
Product designing.
Okay. Yep. So sorry. What's the question with that? Which university do you
I
mean?
should be good in which subjects for these two things?
Yeah. So we probably business studies.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, at our school, we call it business studies. Also economics.
Yeah.
And then perhaps also maybe some things like web design and that sort of stuff also could be useful. Like
Web design.
web design, like internet web page design, that sort of stuff, marketing. If you go to our school website, you can find the course directory at our school, so you can read a little bit about each subject.
Yeah.
So year 12 business studies, year 13 business studies, if that's what you're interested in, and this will help. This will be similar to other schools in New Zealand, so this will help you see what's in the different courses.
So suppose I want to do civil engineering now, but later on I think that I should do mechanical engineering is for sure. Then I think that I shouldn't do mechanical engineering. So will those maths and physics are for sure?
Yep.
Maths, physics and chem. PCM. So what other two subjects can be like we can?
Doesn't matter. So when you do engineering at the university, what they call stage 1, it's the first year at university, you must do all the different bits of it. Then after you have done stage 1, then you might go mechanical, civil,
particular
whatever.
field.
Yeah.
Right.
So at school it doesn't specialise that much. For engineering, what you must do, what is compulsory, is physics and calculus. They're the only two things. Physics, calculus is
Chemistry is not important.
No. I think it would be
Because he
helpful.
said chemistry, so you're thinking chemistry
Yeah,
no.
chem.
I think
No.
I think it would be helpful, but it isn't compulsory. At the year 12, usually do 6 subjects.
6, like 6 out of these, or from these 6? How do we select those 6 subjects?
Yeah, so this is like overall courses, but these are all the subjects here. So say
Year 13, I need to have 5 subjects, right? In year. So for maths and physics are for sure. Maths, physics and English. English also you told that's compulsory year.
in New Zealand,
Yeah.
in New Zealand schools, maths and English are the only compulsory subjects to year 11. Only maths and English. But most students will take science as well for year 11.
So then now 2 subjects are there. So can I take business studies also in that?
Yeah.
So I can take any 2 subjects out of all the
Yep.
subjects provided.
Yeah. Any 5. If you're year 13, you choose any 5.
Oh.
But you must meet. Do you know what the word prerequisite means? So if you want to study year 13 physics, you must have studied year 12 physics and passed it. Yeah. So you can take any 5 subjects you like, but you must have already studied the year before.
You can't change
Yeah, but
yours.
do you have a question like, for example, for doing year 12 physics, is there anything that he should have done in year 11 because he's not coming to your year 11? Would that affect him?
Good question. No, for an international student, so this is the science example of all of. So science is the faculty, okay, and in year 9, all students must take science. It's compulsory. And science means they do a little bit of biology, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of physics. Same as year 10. Year 11, they can choose to do science or internal science.
What is internal science?
It means
Bio?
it means it's actually more of an easier science. This is the more academic science that leads to this pathway, year 11, year 12, year 13, leads to the 3 different ones. This pathway still is like a general science. It's a course which has little bits of everything. So if you want to take physics in year 13, you must take physics in year 12.
And science
You
in
must
year
take
11.
science in year 11 is all.
Contact NZEA today to study in New Zealand. info@nzea.in